Hey, Brokies. Welcome back to Two Broke Gays. You're here with me, Jenna Cortis.
And Kevin Sullivan.
And today we're talking about jobs.
Steve. No, he's okay.
Come on out. No, sorry. Oh.
Come on up. Okay,
Nothing like starting with a strong cut.
yeah. No, we're keeping that. We're gonna talk about jobs specifically of like being in the closet at a place of work.
Right.
Because
Excited for this.
I have a lot of like gay jobs, like where I was gay at the job, openly,
Yeah.
where people knew. But being in the closet at a place of work, it's interesting because you don't want to talk about your personal life anyway.
Yeah.
Too much. And when you're in the closet, you definitely don't.
It's weird because I kind of forgot about this, to be honest. It's been so long now, and I'm so loud about it now.
Yeah, now I show up and they're like, yay, there's a fun gay guy here. And I'm like,
And they're like, we don't know what you're doing, but it's different than us.
Yeah. And then before I was just like, no one look at me, no one talk to me.
Right.
I'm a man.
I am working man.
Yeah, I'm working man. Keep the ladies away from me, HR. Anyway.
What about you? What were your fun, cool, crazy jobs?
So I had a lot of closet jobs. My first job ever.
Is that what we're calling them? By the way?
Closet jobs.
Okay.
My first job while in the closet was my first job ever. Besides like little odd jobs where I was like babysitting and like pulling weeds for people in the neighborhood.
Yeah, your parents.
My first like W-2 job.
Oh.
Boston, the age of 14, Dunkin' Donuts.
Wow.
And I worked there with my grandmother.
Oh my God.
Gay.
That's so fun.
It's so queer though to be like at Dunkin's with my little visor and like khakis and just, I don't know, we weren't on computers. We were making coffee.
What was it like working with your grandma?
The best.
Yeah.
Aquarius, grandmother. Aquarius.
Two of you in the same Dunkin'?
Yeah. People were like
waiting for their coffee.
My grandmother be dodging customers that she didn't want to see. It was like a small town. We're just like two old hens, just like, because I was born a 72-year-old woman.
So you guys were just...
Yeah, but she didn't like the drive-through because it was too fast for her. Mm-hmm. So I was on the drive-through. I had braces, a very high-pitched voice. And it was like, before computers, there was a whiteboard that you had to like write the orders down, and there was codes for everything. So it was pretty quick. And it's Boston, so it's like everyone is getting Dunkin'.
Right.
And my grandmother liked the morning shift. So she'd pick me up at like 5 a.m.
Oh my God.
Beep, beep, outside in her little like Plymouth, whatever the car was. We'd show up to work. I'd be on the drive-thru. She would literally though, like sometimes I'd like go to the counter because there'd be like some man of the town that she hated. So she'd like dodge them.
She'd sub you in real quick.
Then, and I'd have to like the line waiting at the drive-thru and I have to run over, do the counter really quick. Luckily, like a lot of the older guys, just like, it's like a small regular, quick gas coffee. And she'd be hiding.
Did you have your own Dunkin' order? Like what would you get to relax?
I was literally
to wind down.
I was 14.
After your hard day of work at the age of 14.
Literally, I was like, what a shift. Crazy that you can work 14 there, but I was drinking iced coffee all day long.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would have been a wreck. I would have been like...
No, I mean, I started drinking coffee in like second grade.
Wow.
It was like, I was able to stay in the closet because it's like, even the straights at Dunkin's of the were like a little gay. Come on, like
Dunkin'
we're just like
Donuts...
medium regular, you got it, pull on up. Like,
so Dunkin's is inherently a bit gay.
I think so.
A little queer coded.
Yeah, America runs on gay Dunkin's. They're like never going to promote on here.
It closes.
You guys remember the downfall of Dunkin's? Two broke gays?
Two broke gays were like, we love it there. And America said...
I mean, they're already doing that on the Department of Education. I haven't even heard the teaching staff yet.
Right.
So I also worked the night shift sometimes.
And the morning?
Not always.
Oh, okay.
My schedule I was flexible.
You just had to fit in your classes.
Yes, as soon as it was summer. As soon as I'd fly back to Boston.
Like, God, this kid went
in
early in the morning and clocked in for school? Give him a break. No wonder he's tired.
I'm in second period. I'm like, the kids are hungry at home. No, it was a summer job. It was the best.
Okay,
I mean, getting to work with my grandmother,
yeah.
and then in the afternoon is when I got to work with the teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
different vibe because it was like there was no rush hour. It was like slower. Sometimes it'll get busy at like 5 when people are getting off work because people don't stop drinking coffee there. And it was like the teens, like the cool kids. I thought they were cool.
Right.
I was like,
looking back, losers.
I was like, yesterday when I worked with my grandmother, and one kid rode a motorcycle.
Excuse?
Yeah. And he was so hot to me because he was like, just like a trashy, like.
He was kind of dirty, kind of gritty.
He like didn't care. I don't think
smoking, having his black coffee.
Yeah, he didn't. Okay. Well, he wasn't from wherever that was. He was from Boston. Coffee.
Sorry.
It was wicked. He rode a motorcycle.
Did you ever get on the back of that bed?
No, but one time he was like offering the girls like ride. He was like, yeah, like, you know, I could ride you all around or whatever. And I was like, I would like a ride on the motorcycle. And he was like, maybe, yeah, sure, Kev. I was like, okay.
He's like, nobody asked.
Yeah, I was literally like, and I would also like a ride on the back of your motorcycle.
But who wouldn't? I'm like ready to fight him.
I was 14.
Kevin on the motorcycle.
And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do the morning shift with my grandmother where it's safe.
Where it's safe.
Yeah.
You had her for
listening
backup.
to Michelle Branch on a loop. I loved that job and I would do it again. But that was my first closet job.
Okay. I had like
Are you ready to talk about teaching?
Yeah, I've gathered my thoughts.
Okay.
So I started teaching and I hadn't had a girlfriend and I hadn't had my big love at first sight moment.
Also, wait, sidebar, because this is going to come later, I think. Social media was not present. No. There was no social at Dunkin's. There was no misconnections. There was every day. I'm like, this person I ordered, no. So that's not at play here, which is nice.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God for that.
Because the students would have found you fucking out.
Oh, okay. Well, funny you should bring that up.
Okay.
So I'm a middle school teacher in Las Vegas, Nevada. Shout out to my students that still follow me and will message me and DM me and be like, Miss, love your podcast. And I'm like, because they're like grown-ups now, you know?
How old?
22 to 26, somewhere in there. Yeah. So they're cool. They're supportive. So I am a teacher in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm a middle school teacher. And while I was teaching there, I had my love at first sight moment. Had my girlfriend, like that was all in the course of this job, right? So, but I was outed.
How?
I want to tell you. Okay. I'm writing at the board. Can I spin? Is that going to fuck everything up?
No.
I'm writing at the board. Okay, so I am doing students will be able to. This is teachers will know what I'm talking about. You do this every day. It's kind of like the goal, whatever. I'm in the middle of writing students will be able to on the board.
Like and students will be able to, I don't.
You put an objective. Students will be able to identify a theme. You put the objective on the board.
Okay, what they're going to learn that day?
Yes.
Got it.
It's an institutional learning.
Objective. Oh my God, what were you fucking teaching the CIA?
This is what we do. Okay. I'm glad we're shining some light on what teachers are doing. They're teaching.
Okay. Sorry.
All right. So students will be able to. I hear a tiny voice, this little boy in my class. He stands up out of his desk. I hear, Miss, I heard your lesbian girlfriend play on Samantha's daddy's softball team. My back is to the class, and I'm like, I have a moment with myself where I decide, okay, I'm in front of these students. I have a moment with myself where I think, okay, I can either deny this. It is true, by the way.
Deny, defend, depot. I'm kidding.
I can either deny this or I had to decide all of this in a second, right? Because the class is never heard these kids more silent in my life.
Like gays, we are so used to that second, though. I feel like
having to process it all.
this was, I guess, maybe one of your first seconds.
That was the first time I've been called out like that by a child.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, what is the best thing to do? And I thought, I know there's gay kids in here. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble. I don't know my principal's stance on this. They're 12, 13.
Okay.
So I just shut the marker.
A year before starting work at Dunkin's.
A year before they're ready for hire. So I shut the marker, put it down. I turn to the class and I say, that is correct. And the class erupts. I mean, everyone's out of their seats. They're screaming. They're like, I told you she was gay. It is like an episode.
People are paying kids in the back because it's Vegas.
It's Vegas. So they're like, I had
the
10
bookie
on
in the
this.
back puts his visor on. Is like, put the over under on lesbian softball.
They are out of their seats. They are horrified / inspired. They're putting it together in their little brains. All right. And I said, I understand that this information may be overwhelming to some of you, but I am the same teacher that I was 4 seconds ago. We have the same fucking students will be able to. Didn't say fucking, but we are going to get through the lesson.
Did you finish what it was?
Yes, of course.
Do you remember what it was?
No. But I was like, we are going to get, I was blacked out after that. I was like in total control mode. I was like, we will get through this and everything will proceed as normal. You need to be in your seat because otherwise you're going to the dean's office. And then they, then they sat down.
But inside you were?
Inside I was going, ah!
Wait, I wonder what that objective was. What it was like, softball, dean's office. We're still going to do the objective,
Students will be able to publicly out me. So it was really sweet, though, because after that, there was this
I wonder how many kids made money off of that.
There was this one student, I'll never forget her, Jayla.
Worried about the gambling. Jayla?
Jayla came to my classroom every single morning after that to, like, give me a hug and make sure I was okay. And so I finally stopped her. I said, Jayla, I'm fine, honey. I said, it's okay. I have a girlfriend. It's fine. But it was so sweet. And there were lots of gay kids lining up breakfast, lunch, and dinner to like come hang out in my room after that. Because they knew I was like, at that point, I was the only out teacher. And there was one other out teacher. And I couldn't do anything about it. Cat was out of the bag at that point. So I just said, all right, I'm the gay teacher now. Let's rock and roll. I thought, I'm kind of nice. Hopefully this is something meaningful to the children. But so I walked.
Did you dress gayer after that?
No. I was like, it was the early aughts. I was like in an A-line skirt and a button down and ballet flats. And I was like,
So you were already kind of there.
But what I did do, you know where you are, by the way. You know where you are. So I walked. I was nervous because I thought, am I going to get in trouble? Am I going to get fired? All I did was tell the truth about who I am to a kid who asked, right? Mm-hmm. So my heart is like beating and I go and I see this veteran teacher. You know what you did. And I say,
totally gay.
I tell her what happened. And she's like, she makes this face. So I knew I had fucked up in telling her what happened. She was like,
why'd you pick her?
I thought she was nice. Big mistake. I thought she was nice. And she was like, you're going to need to go talk to the principal about that we could be getting phone calls. Like this could be very bad for the school. And I was like, okay. And then I kept it moving. So I went to talk to the principal, who was like a cartoon character.
If you are listening, whoever you are, I just want to say, fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck you. Okay, all right. So I'm walking and I'm freaked out now. And I go see the principal and I'm like.
She's busy.
She's always very busy on her phone. Don't know what she's doing, but she's doing something. So she has her phone out and she's literally cannot be bothered with what I feel is the biggest thing that's ever happened to me. She's like, why would I give a fuck about that? She's like, yeah, if they call, I'll just tell them to fuck off. Like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, thank you so much for your support. That's like amazing.
Allyship.
Yeah, that was allyship. And she's like, okay, anything else? I'm like literally about to burst into tears. And she's like, and? So I went back to my class kind of like feeling like, fuck yeah, whatever, So that's a bit of a story for you there.
I love that.
Kids, if you're out there, hope you're still doing well.
I didn't have any gay teachers. And I think that would have meant, I did go to a lot of private schools. So.
Mm-hmm. I had one.
Oh my God, there was one, and he was the theology teacher. And I think he was the only one that didn't know. Or he did.
Oh, I feel like if they didn't say it, then that doesn't count as a gay teacher.
No, he didn't. He was the theology teacher, literally.
So he didn't say it.
Yeah, oh God. I wonder if he's still alive. I need to look him up. I'll show you this man. Anyway, I got in a lot of trouble in that class.
Was Duncan like not only your first job, but also your favorite? Or did you have anything else like you liked more? And is this still in the closet?
Duncan's was my favorite job, probably like of all time.
Yeah.
I wish I could go back and be gay at that job. Do you know what I mean? Oh my God,
you would have been amazing. Working the drive-thru, gay?
Although people did like, okay, back to like the voice thing. So I'd be like, is that all? Like, pull on up. And then they would show up and be like, boy. So it would have been like nicer if I could have just been gay and be like, yeah, anyway, fuck you, bitch. Instead I was just like awkward. And then
it's too bad we couldn't have traded voices because mine has always sounded like this. I was 7 years old and I was like, hey.
I wish there was a recording. We don't have a lot of recordings of ourselves from that time period, but I wish we did. And then you could have heard what I sounded like. But it would have just been nice to be myself while being there with my grandma and like not hiding. But I still had like the best time ever at that job. I mean, I had so many in the closet jobs after that. I was gay at Godiva, but in the closet, got fired.
Oh, yeah, you got fired a couple times.
Yeah, I had like machismo jobs. I was an ice hockey player, and I worked at the ice rink because I wanted free ice time. And they made me clean out the girls' bathroom once, and I just left.
And you just got in your car.
They said, don't forget about the surprise boxes. And I said, I'm out of here.
That was what did it?
Yeah, I just walked out.
And you went home and...
Yeah, my parents were like, what happened? Well, are you supposed to be at work? And I was like, yeah, it didn't work out.
You just said it didn't work out?
Yeah, it didn't work out. I was not cleaning a bathroom.
I was so like bounded by like needing to be like the perfectionist good girl. I can't think of anything. I did quit something. I did. It was an amazing thing to quit. I didn't go out quite as hard as like this other guy. It was poolside serving at a big fancy hotel.
You were a poolside server?
Yes.
Gay or not gay?
Not gay. I know.
Were you wearing heels? Wedges?
They were like Keds.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Say,
it was
below
like
deck.
Yeah, it was like golf outfits basically. Everyone was a bit of a nightmare, but mostly we would work like 15, 16 hours, no breakfast, no lunch, no dinner, which I don't know if you know is against the law.
Name them?
I'm part of a class action lawsuit.
Oh, really?
No, I actually never did the paperwork. But
that's the worst.
I know. But anyway, this guy though, it was pretty bad. Like I said, we weren't eating any food, so it made you kind of feel bad. This just did. And so this guy though.
Don't I know it?
This guy one day around the pool, around all the rich people, he comes sprinting out of like the like enclosed dining room. He rips off his polo. He says, fuck this place. I quit, and cannonballs into the pool, and it flies out onto all the rich people with their champagne like poolside. It was incredible. I've never seen anything like it.
Did you follow?
I was like, I wanted to do that. No.
You should have.
He got escorted off the property, but I mean, respect. Again, don't remember your name. Do remember your impact.
That's what I want people to say about me. I want them to remember my name and my impact.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I was working out here actually in California for free at this like PR agency. Remember like back in our day when you'd take an internship for free?
I think people still try to get free interns.
That's insane.
I know.
In this economy.
It's rude.
It's really rude. But I was doing it back then, and so I had to slice in the pool because that's where I made my money. Every once in a while, I'd get like a rich woman who would be like, here's an extra 40. And I'd be like, you don't know what this means to me. Yeah. Some were nice. And she'd be like, keep the champagnes coming, honey. I would be like, anything you say, ma'am. Why am I so drawn to you? I'm gay. But no. So that was one.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think being gay at the ice rink, even though I was in the closet, like I got to play on a lot of leagues at night with the dads.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, always like, I'll take the late shift. We got the beer league coming in. And then always, because like now that I'm one of the of their age.
That hurt.
It stung a lot.
I saw you grappling.
Wait. They were probably like my age because they would like get off work and then they would go play hockey. But some of them were like too busy and their schedules, like when we have to bail on our extracurriculars because life, which I was like, damn, these bitches are always not showing up. I would get to play a sub in for free.
Oh.
So I would get free ice time. That's why I worked at the ice rink because I always got, it's expensive to play hockey.
So you were just like, what?
So I'd always have my bag in the car, be working, and then it's like the place starts to shut down, and then the beer leagues come in. They call them beer leagues because they literally just bring a cooler of beer and put it in the locker room, and then they all get wasted and play. Yeah, and then I just go and like beat them all because they're all drinking, and I have a good time. But there was quite a few dads that were just like so hot.
So hot.
Like, yeah, I guess I could play. Let me get my bag.
They're like, Kevin, do you want to? You're like already skating.
Kevin, do you want to? I'm already doing like a triple Lutz. I'm like, ready? What's your wife's name again? No.
That's good.
Let me Zamboni this place. Yeah, I love the ice rink. That was one of my favorite jobs too, except for not anything to do with the job. Just the ice time that was attached.
Yeah, the perks.
But I had like 100 jobs. Do you think being in the closet ever like hindered you from your trajectory?
I do often wonder, and I've mentioned it on the podcast several times, like who I could have been if I was like out in college or like out in high school instead of just like chameleoning to what I thought like people wanted me to be.
100. I think so many gay people grapple with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who could we have been?
Who could I have been if I was like just even mildly willing to be unliked? Like even quitting. I'm like, oh my God, how did you do that? Like that would mean I'm better now. Now I'm kind of like, okay, obviously not everyone's going to like me. It's fine. But like when I was like trying to be perfect and trying to make sure like, you know, nobody noticed I was gay so I could have like
it's a balance because there's like, okay, who would I have been if I could have come out sooner?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, there's actually a possibility that person didn't make it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, could have died. Whatever.
Being able to be yourself. Oh my God, look, I'm wearing this t-shirt that says authenticity.
And I'm wearing Boston, but I did this on purpose because I knew I was going to talk a Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, I just thought this was kind of kitsch. So yes, I think being yourself, obviously that could change things. And I think you always wish you could have got there sooner, right?
Coming out has been very beneficial in the workplace, like working in marketing, working in social media. It's like now being truly myself. And
we're in a protected place.
Absolutely. And I think it's like important that we do acknowledge that everyone doesn't have the luxuries of like coming out. There's still a lot of people in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're listening, you know, and just know that we all did it.
And it's going to be okay. And you know, you don't have to fucking tell your coworkers if you don't want to.
Yeah, you don't have to tell your students if you don't want to.
Yeah, I could have said, no, that's not true. I've never seen that woman before in my life. But I don't know. I weighed the options.
Softball?
What's that?
Yeah, no, not me.
No, but literally we did take Samantha's daddy to the hospital, like together as a couple.
Wait, why?
Because he got hit in the head with a fucking softball. So that's how Samantha found out about me.
So you were at the game?
Yes.
So you knew it was Samantha's dad?
Yeah, he got hit in the head with a fucking softball. We helped him get to the hospital.
He didn't get a concussion. You were like, forget you ever saw me.
And Samantha was like, she put it together. Smart girl.
Also, smart girl, big mouth.
She did show up to my class and apologize to me.
Did she?
Yeah, she did.
How are these kids? This is the thing that gets me about like just gay world. These kids are better, more accepting, more everything, than adults, even in like 2025, you know?
She was like, I never meant for him to do that to you. And I said, it's okay, honey.
Literally.
It was true.
We can't even get like grown-ass adults to just like let people live.
Yeah, I know.
And then we have kids like fully being like, I knew she was gay. Also, I'm so sorry that I had to out you, you know?
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
kids are the future.
Yeah, mine are grown.
Jobs turned into kids of the future. I wonder where Motorcycle Man is.
Me too.
Watch him be gay.
Oh my God. He was like, God, I hope I can get Kevin on the back of this hog.
On the back and the front. Back of that hog, front of this hog. Jesus Christ.
So I think we're good.
And I wonder if he was actually hot or I was just mystified because I was like, he was the only like
man around.
Yeah, because I was 14. I think he was like 18 and he was really fit and had a motorcycle. And I was like, yeah.
Right.
I love it here. Maybe that's why I love the job.
Brokies, here's the thing. If you have a job that you were not able to be yourself and you want to pop that in the comments, kind of tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah.
I think I'd like that.
And if you're still in the closet in a job, keep on keeping on and just be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week. You've been listening to Two Brokies.
Oh, my double guns. Where's I going with that?
Get me out of here.
Two Brokies.